Hi, Sagittarius. Hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the beginning of November. So we have new moon in Scorpio. Let's talk about that. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different read. I'm going to be doing an I say, they say. So I'll be doing a Celtic cross spread for you and then a separate one for someone else. It doesn't have to be in a relationship. It could be a family member, a boss, a friend, it doesn't matter, right? Just another person. But we're going to start first by pulling some general energies for this new moon in Scorpio. And you guys are feeling it in really more in your subconscious space because it's happening in your 12th house. So you're going to have the sun, the moon, Mars. Mercury then is going to be popping in there to join the party on the 5th. But on that 4th, it's sitting in direct opposition to Uranus and Taurus in your 6th house. So some sort of something can end up happening in your day-to-day experience, having to do with your health, having to do with your workout regimen, having to do with, again, mental, physical, or emotional health is the 6th house. Something surprising can go on with a pet of yours. Something surprising can go on having to do with work, having to do with the work environment. You and Geminis really are getting a lot of action on this axis, having to do with your daily work experience as well as your health. So the thing is with Mars in your 12th house, Sagittarius, be kind to yourself. Don't be surprised if you feel like, look, you put your finger in an electric socket and you can't sleep. A lot of you guys might be feeling that. That's that Martian energy in that 12th house of the subconscious. But keep in mind, the 12th house is also, we call it the house of the hidden. It's also the house of self-sabotage, where we can get in our own way. And with the new moon in there, and in particular in Scorpio, because it's about transformation. A lot of you may be in this space where you're realizing where you maybe have gotten in your own way up to a certain point, where you've allowed certain things to go on, right? Having to do with business situations, having to do with relationships, family connections. You're realizing things that you've allowed to be perpetuated that maybe is not in your best interest, right? To continue. So let's see what cards we can get from here. Excuse me. Let's pull a couple of Halloween cards because it is Halloween. First card up, we have the Page of Bats. Chariot is next. The 8 of Bats. And then we have the 4 of Pumpkins. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So it does seem like you are in an emotional stalemate having to do with some situation. Let's just pull 2 of those and we'll pull a couple of oracles. Okay, Page of Bats is being cross purposes with yourself. You need to make a decision. You need to make a decision, and it's like that you say what you need to say, like throw everything on the table and just be like, this is how I feel, right? The Chariot is an energy that's leaving the toxicity of something, but this is also an energy of something being expedited. So if this has to do with careers, just quick changes in progress in some sort of business situation, being pushed forward or bring something to fruition, but whatever it is, it's going to be very exciting. So this could bring positive news in finances, whatever it is, though, you're going to have to work really, really hard, right? If it has to do with career or money, if it has to do with relationship, a relationship situation is expedited, right? So we have to, look at the cards around and say, is it, are we leaving negativity and going towards positive? Well, we would be doing that if the cards around it were really positive. If they're negative, right, that could mean that a situation is ending. So either a relationship, a friendship, a family situation, some sort of business connection. So we have this being across purposes, and then we have the 8 of Bats. So there's this energy of feeling very trapped in something, right? So it does seem like something needs to be renegotiated, something needs to end, absolutely, because something doesn't feel right to you. Something is just feeling very viscerally uncomfortable, and you're just feeling like it's not the right thing for you anyway. Even though it felt like the right thing at one point, you're feeling like maybe it's not the right thing for you, in fact, and you're feeling very protective of yourself. You know, you're in this space where you're worried about your future, you're worried about, you know, having the money, maybe if it's that, or just focusing on protecting your heart. Now we do have the Six of Wands energy, which is very nice energy and is really for everything from relationship to business, as this can indicate deserved success. Great energy if you've been struggling lately. This is acknowledgement at work. This is great for feelings being shared, and will receive positive communication. Really nice energy there. But there is an end to a challenging time period, which is great. Sometimes we love the Ten of Swords because it's like, good riddance. That was no fun anyway. I don't want to be in that situation anymore, right? But there's a history to this. That's the thing, right? And even if it's difficult while you're going through it, there's the finality in the release of something that is going to, it's not only, it's releasing you from frustration and stress. See, again, even if it's painful, it's the end of a challenging time period. So now you're going to be able to feel healthier, fresh eyes, new mindset. You're just going to have a healthier, better perspective on things. So let's pull a couple of oracles. Wisdom of the Oracle, pull a couple of these, milk and honey. Right? Thinking about your comfort. What do you need? What do you need? And blessed. You're very blessed. Well, we know that. I mean, after all, you Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. Of course, you're blessed, right? But milk and honey is about very much focusing on what do you need in order to be comfortable in this situation. So you might be dealing with either something within a relationship or a business situation, like a contract or some sort of negotiation that where you're just like, that does not feel comfortable to me. I'm not liking that. But there being the Six of Wands, though, is kind of what's saving it, because you are recognizing that something does not feel in alignment with what it is that you want. You're having this conversation and it does go well. It's almost like somebody wants more than, not that you want to give them, but more than they deserve or more than is possible in a situation, maybe more than is possible. I hate to say deserve because that's so subjective, right? But let's pull a Celtic cross spread for you. Let's get more information on what's going on for our Sagittarius friends. We also on the 6th, we have Venus moving into Capricorn and we have Mercury going into Scorpio. So that Mercury in Scorpio in your 12th house, your mind is going to be going a million miles an hour. You've been thinking about this. Telling you that with Mars in your 12th house, again, hard time sleeping. So do whatever, you know, the chamomile, make sure you're getting your workouts and whatever to help release that energy from your physical body so that it doesn't sort of pool itself in your subconscious in the evening. You want to be careful of that. But with your Capricorn in your 2nd house, I have to tell you, Venus and Capricorn in the 2nd house of money. Yes, my friend. Yes. All the way until March 6th. Love it. Love it. Really beautiful, because Venus is money energy as well as self-esteem energy. Beautiful. And Venus rules that Taurus house. That 2nd house is the landlord is Taurus, also ruled by Venus. So there's a lot of Venusian energy in there with the beautiful Capricorn, man. I love Capricorn. We're talking about me because whatever you're going to be doing, whatever's going to be coming in is going to have sticking power. So there's going to be, right? Because that's what Saturn does. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So beautiful energy to have there in that 2nd house. So I love that. All right. So let's see what's happening. Where are you at right now? Right. Oh, right now you're in the judgment energy. Changing, right? This is Pluto. And Pluto rules Scorpio, right? The 8th. So what is this? This is about assessment and letting go of the past and making a decision about the past and making a new decision based on the current facts that you have right now. A lot of you guys are just going to be spiritually waking up. Absolutely. If this has to do with career or money, this is acknowledgement for your success is coming in. Your finances are going to be getting better. If this has to do with relationship, this is assessing the situation within the relationship and allowing it to shift into a new phase and whatever that means for you. Some of you are going to be realizing that a relationship is just, it ran its course already. Others of you are going to be realizing, okay, it's time for us to take this long-term relationship and shift it into a new phase where what's going to be required is that we reconcile with the fact that things are the way they are, and we need to, through empathy and understanding, figure out a new normal within the relationship, you know? Some of you, if you're single, you may be thinking about reconnecting with somebody from the past. But what's getting in the way of you here is this Chariot energy again, right? So the Chariot energy again is, this has to do with relationship. It's about feeling kind of stuck. I mean, it can be stuck. There can be stuckness here. There can be this idea of arrogance and self-indulgence being at play here that's getting in the way of being able to transform in a particular way. This could also indicate somebody just being not on the right path, right? Egotism and selfishness can be indicated here. You might be dealing with somebody who's being very egotistical and very selfish as you're trying to negotiate some sort of business deal or some sort of situation within relationship. That could certainly be a challenge right now. Could certainly be. I mean, coming into this energy is some sort of very wide realization, right, with the world. So world is about waking up, right? It's completion, success, lessons learned. Okay, learn that lesson, right? I figured it out. I figured out what I meant to figure out here. But this is really nice because this is like you finally achieving something that you've been working toward, or you at least being in the space of negotiating something, but learning your lesson, right? In numerology, this is the Empress energy. So very focused on growth, very focused on growing your life and transforming and changing. So beautiful, lots of change, you being open to change. But the challenge here is this egotism and the selfishness. So I don't know if it's from you or if you're dealing with this in somebody else, but we have the Magician energy as a basis of the situation, which is straight up Mercury, and Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, which is about having a conversation to solve those problems, being able to manifest, have a deepening of understanding through really good communication. Some of you may be starting a whole new area within your career as well, because that's absolutely what you could be manifesting for sure, right? New beginning, new direction, right? Whatever it is that you're doing right now. Look at this, 8 of Wands. 2 very positive cards, guys, honestly. The 8 of Wands is really beautiful here. So this is good news coming in, lots of busy communication. This is great. If you've been feeling like really held back and stuck, just like waiting for some sort of decision to come in, having to do with like that job or that offer, or whatever it is, great news for growth. If this has to do with relationships, really great news, especially if you guys have been separated, if you've been in a weird space. So I just like lots of really good communication, really good manifesting energy going on right now. But I feel like there's this lingering idea of you either dealing with selfishness within yourself or needing to contend with that, like within some sort of business arrangement or agreement, whatever. Let me just straighten this out so you can see more. We have the Page of Wands as the recommendation here. So yeah, I mean, Page of Wands is about expressing yourself. This is a recommendation. So don't sit by quietly, but please think before you speak, only because you have Mars hanging out with Mercury at the end of this week in your 12th house. So the way things sound in your head, you know how sometimes things sound one way in your head, and then when you say it, you're like, oh man, why did I say it like that? So just make sure that you send things through the sieve before executing any sort of communication. But yeah, I mean, the advice here is absolutely express yourself and don't worry about anything needing to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. The situation doesn't need to be perfect. It's like, it's good. This is like a good thing here, right? With this Page of Wands, because there's some sort of new cycle that wants to come in here, right? It's good. But this is the thing, you recognize the value in it, even if the initial offer of this person in relationship, or this initial offer of money, or whether it's like a salary being offered or some sort of financing being offered or anything like that, it might not be exactly what you expected or wanted, but it's still going to work. It's still going to be good. So like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and just be careful as you're communicating. Now, the energy external to you, or this could just be the external energy that's surrounding you right now, is the 3 of Wands. Love this energy. This is one of the good fortune cards. This is a Sun in Aries energy. So Sun is about focus. Aries is about fresh path, new perspective. And this is about doing things unconventional, different, meeting new people, moving forward. So there was a new group of people. Maybe they're not so new at this point, but there's newness. There's something about unconventional something where it's new for you, you turning your back on the past, and this energy that you're dealing with, it's like, come on, Sag, let's go this way. This is the way for your future. So this could be either a person having to do with a relationship, a person having to do with a job, a group of people, or whatever it is. It's like they're in front of you. And there's this requirement for you to just do things differently and turn your back on the past, not in a negative way, but it's almost like saying, okay, I did that for long enough. Now it's time for me to move forward and do this and go after this dream and this potential, because there's so much potential here. Again, this is one of the good fortune cards. Your challenge here is the Hermit. So the Hermit, I mean, this could be you, at least maybe for a time, maybe feeling kind of disconnected from a situation, feeling maybe like that there's a potential of you feeling kind of victimized. Maybe somebody's trying to take advantage of you and you trying to figure out a different strategy for moving forward. For those of you in relationship, you may be in the space where you recognize you have to work a lot harder on the relationship, but what that actually means in the 3D, you're having a hard time wrapping either your brain around or your level of willingness. You know, you may not actually be very willing. That could be the challenge. Some of you are just challenged by the fact that you feel very alone and lonely in something. Or you're having a very hard time figuring out a problem. So there's some sort of situation and you're like, okay, I know I have to figure something out here. I know that it requires a different strategy, but I can't figure it out. So that could be a challenge for you, but it's I don't feel like it's going to last, right? Because this is in your temporary psychology. Now, in the near future, we have the Five of Swords. So Five of Swords is an energy that, you know, indicates that the reality that you're living with a person, within a situation, within a job, a family situation, whatever it is not in alignment with the way that you would really like things to be. And you don't really have a lot of control of the situation. And you can only mitigate your stuff. So it's kind of thing where it's like, no matter how loud you yell, it doesn't matter. They're not going to hear you. It's not going to, they're not going to change. Time has to pass. And then you could revisit this because it is a minor arcana. But this does indicate like somebody's very dug in. And you're recognizing, at least subjectively from your perspective, that things aren't going the way that you would really like them to go because of someone else. And you can't control it. So you have to just sort of step back, like with grace and dignity, accept whatever disappointment it is right now in the short term and just step back. But rest assured, we have this Ace of Pentacles as the final outcome. This is a new job. This is a new offer. This is a new relationship. This is a new connection. It's a very, very benefic energy. It really is. I mean, this is like things coming to you. It's very auspicious. It's a very good fortune energy for sure. But I feel like you're dealing with some sort of conflict with a particular energy, like before going into that, which is very interesting. Let me see what else. It's almost like there's this offer or something happening, but it's really not exactly what it is that you wanted. But it being great anyway. Yeah. Okay. So we have Two of Pentacles. So so absolutely. It seems like some form of negotiation is going on. We negotiate all the time, don't we? You guys are so good at that, for goodness sake. You're the landlord of the ninth house of negotiation, right? So you guys are in this space where it's like, all right, where do I feel the sense of lack? What's the right thing, you know, having to do with this relationship, this business, you know, situation, whatever it is. But look, you know, the time has come. The time has come, Sag. Wheel of Fortune does indicate a turning point. You needing to take a chance. This is fate is stepping in right now. You need to take a chance on something. Now, some of you may be turning to something or someone from your past that they magically reappeared in your life. This could certainly be destiny at work here. So if it has to do with a relationship, this could be getting back with somebody from the past if you think that that's the right thing for you to do. If not, certainly you don't have to do that, because if the bones of the relationship were not good last time around, you're going to feel like you're trying to fit a circle in a square this time around, and that's never comfortable. But if this has to do with career or money, this is awesome. Good news coming in, really good news. But you just want to make sure that you're prioritizing what's being asked of you. And as always, I say with this, exercise integrity. Because you have to understand, right? This is Jupiter, right? And Jupiter is always in a very intimate dance with karma, always, always. But there's a beautiful proposal coming in. Very nice energy. The Knight of Cups. Great energy coming in. Beautiful Queen of Wands. You stepping into your power. You're going to know what to do here. Such a good way of just putting it. You're going to know what to do. An offer is going to come in and you're going to know what to do. It might not be what everybody else is expecting you to do, but that is exactly what you're going to do. Because if we get the Fool, it's Uranus, always full of surprises. The Fool is all about doing something very different, taking a chance, calculated risk, doing something different. So, you know, this can be anything from a new path, a new opportunity, a new approach within your current position. This could be a new relationship. This could be approaching the current relationship that you have from a very different perspective, a very different angle, doing things very differently. And it's not just happening on its own, right? Because we have the Temperance that's clarifying it. And the Temperance is sitting down and having a very open conversation about who needs what. What do you need? What do I need? What does the situation need in order to be successful? So this is a very nice energy, like in relationship, if things have been a little challenging for you guys right now, you finishing up this sort of like volatile time period that you might have been going through up to this point, you know, through empathy and cooperation, you guys have a better understanding. If this has to do with some sort of business situation, I mean, you might have been dealing with some silly energies, right? That need a little bit of tempering. What I mean by that is like, maybe somebody is a little too sensitive, or maybe they're a little too aggressive, or maybe they're both of those things at one time, right? It depends on what's going on, right? But patience and cooperation is going to go a long way, right? The only thing I want to say here is pay attention to your incoming and your outgoing finances during this energy. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, this makes perfect sense. And clarifying the Temperance, we have the Strength, which is all about balancing something out that you feel like has been a test. Does definitely seem like somebody needs their ego stroked a little bit. Certainly does. But I like it. I mean, I feel like, you know, there's some sort of either relationship, right? Because this is Leo, has to do with love, or Leo is also creativity or some sort of creative project. And then we have this with the Star. So something is right. So you're either totally meant to be in this relationship. This project is absolutely meant to happen. I love it. Yes, the Star. So you're destined to be with a person, right? This is definitely a change for the better after a difficult time. If this has to do with career or money, this is a money luck energy. So work you do begins to pay off. You've considered your long-term plans, you prioritized well. Some of you may be guided to begin a new business, or you find out that you have some like hidden, like unbelievable talent that you could put to good use right now. But regardless, this can indicate awards, it can indicate fame, very inspiring kind of energy here. If it has to do with career or work, if it has to do with relationship, this is a very nice, because this again has to do with the Strength. So it's almost like you got it in numerology, the Star is the Strength card. In numerology, the Strength is the Star card. So it's almost like you have this like double destiny driven need to balance something out and just heal from whatever's been going on. But there's got to be this process that's gone through and this level of acceptance. But I do feel like you guys are going to be experiencing this new moon energy a lot easier than many of the other signs. I do want to say that. And I feel like this is like good stuff coming in your sixth house. So let's see what they say. Remember, this is subjective. So keep that in mind. King of Pentacles. Okay. Somebody might be dealing with somebody who's a little funny with their money. Sagittarius. Well, they don't want to change. It's the King of Pentacles. Nice person, generous person, likes to be settled in things, likes things to be settled. But this person has no patience for anyone looking to take what's his or hers. There are two of these in the deck, so we'll see what comes up. But yeah. And this, again, if this isn't somebody who's funny with their money, they might be a little funny with changing to accommodate a situation. But let's see, as they're feeling this way, let's see what their challenge is. The challenge is the Seven of Pentacles. Interesting. All right. Their challenge is being able to work hard and be patient, right? So they may be in this space where Maybe they feel like, oh, you know what, I don't know if I want to bother doing this, right? Because it's definitely like a, when it shows up as a challenge of giving up too soon and not, you know, maybe not what, maybe wondering if something is actually worth it, you know? So somebody holding back maybe on like resources or finances when it comes to an investment or accommodating a salary or something like that, or some sort of payout. Oh, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I'm not sure, that kind of thing. Maybe it's going to be too long until I see my money back or something like that, right? If this has to do with a relationship, this could be somebody who doesn't really like, they're kind of impatient about putting the work into the relationship. Okay, in the recent past, they were in a space of defending themselves, right? 7 of Wands is all about defending self. Right, feeling some sort of obstacles in the way, right? But they feel very confident that they can overcome, right, whatever obstacles they were dealing with in the past. But it's almost like their solution is to sort of draw a line in the sand and say, well, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do A, B, and C. I'm not willing to do that. It's like their morality and their personal philosophy is very important to them. So let's see, the Two of Cups is the basis of the situation, which is a great conversation. It's a mutually supportive energy. This is like a very positive proposal coming in. So it could indicate a new relationship for some, a new job offer for some, having a really good, again, conversation having to do with like negotiating. If you need to negotiate anything, Two of Cups is a great energy. It's the basis of the situation. And what I like about this with the King of Swords is not allowing your emotions to sort of run the show. So the King of Swords is very much about, focusing on your mind instead of your heart to take control of the circumstances. You also might be dealing with the King of Swords energy, either in relationship or business, where and that's like a very ambitious person who relies on a lot of logic, is very outwardly calm, no emotions. They use very sound logic, right? That kind of thing. But I mean, I like these two cards here for sitting down and figuring things out in a very pragmatic way and keeping your eye on the prize, right? The 10 of Cups, this is the recommended approach here, is focusing on what do you want the final outcome to be, right? I mean, this is a Mars and Pisces energy, moving forward in a new way towards your dream space. And how can that happen? So this could have to do with family and contentment, benefits of security. Think about all of these things. What have you been working hard on and bringing to finally put, bring together, come together, as far as communication, as far as business, as far as romance, as far as some sort of family situation, and just figuring out, what that means to you and keeping your eye on the prize there. Now, the energy external to you or the energy surrounding you is that of the Emperor. So the Emperor is a leadership energy. This is Aries energy. So you might be dealing with a person who is an Aries energy, who wants to come in and take control and is very ambitious, very leadership type of situation. You could be this though as well. If this is the energy that's surrounding you right now. This could indicate surrounding you, you're just feeling like your finances are getting organized and balanced and all of that, but you're being surrounded by this idea of, are you feeling very passionate about what it is that you're doing and the way in which you're doing it? Because if you're not, you may end up feeling stifled. And that's an idea that you sort of have to sit with for a while, right? When this idea of boundaries, healthy boundaries as well, okay, is something else that you guys might just generally feel sort of surrounding you, right? While situations might be running pretty smoothly overall, you feeling like, okay, I think I feel like I maybe need to set boundaries with people, right? Just to protect your vision, what it is that you bring and what's yours, right? The vision of that project or your vision of, what you see for the relationship, right? Whatever that is, if that's the energy surrounding you. Or this could be, maybe a new boss or somebody who is sort of heading up some sort of project or taking the bull by the horns, or This could also indicate, if you're single, this could indicate meeting a new relationship. Absolutely. Or talking, if in a current relationship, somebody wanting to sit down and talk very pragmatically about how things are going in the relationship and how you guys are going to move forward within your connection. So we have as the challenge here for them is the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, I mean, look, it's showing up in the challenge, they may be really nervous about something, right? They're not sure. I'm feeling this sense, this lack of assuredness, this questioning fate, this questioning the ability to take a chance. There is this fear. So I feel like, is this fear coming in? Things may not be happening on the timetable that they would like or in the way that they would like, right? Very interesting here, though, also, because it's almost like they're fearing some sort of closure of something. They're not experiencing a high level of confidence in their own intuition and decision-making skills right now. It's like they just don't know. We have the Nine of Cups in the near future, which is all about manifesting happiness for them, right? Wishes manifesting. I mean, feeling more connected to their own heart. This is an energy of growth, Jupiter and Pisces. And clarifying that, we have the Page of Pentacles, which is like the new job, some sort of new projects. I mean, so for some of you, if you're like maybe going into business, you're working on some sort of project with somebody and they're investing, I see them feeling very trepidatious, but then I see it ended up going really well in their favor. So everybody's happy at the end of the day. If this has to do with a relationship, them not really trusting themselves as far as the decision-making skills in the relationship, and then focusing on their happiness here and starting a new cycle with you, which is what the Page of Pentacles can indicate, is starting a new cycle. So we have the moon energy and them wondering if something is actually worth it. You know, if this has to do with a relationship, maybe there was the space where that they were in, where they were feeling very confused and disappointed, maybe feeling let down by you, or having a lack of trust that the relationship would work, that maybe ended up leading them to make a decision about the relationship. You know, for some of you, it can be that. For others of you, if it has to do with career or money, you achieve this goal, but you ultimately feel like, you know, was it really worth it? I want more satisfaction than just saying I did something or I got something done, right? So there's this desire to sort of figure something out, right? In numerology, this is the Hermit energy, so the problem-solving energy, right? You feeling, you know, maybe a type of crisis, them feeling rather a type of crisis of faith. Then we have the Three of Cups, which is a very celebratory, very supportive energy, an energy of healing. We have the Star reverse, very interesting energy to get in reverse. It's about giving up too soon on something, on some sort of project, or somebody that you're dealing with may be experiencing some sort of creative block, or maybe they're too attached to the fantasy of something, right? And not the reality, like overlooking the details of a situation, or they may be pulled into a false sense of security in something that has no real foundation and a little chance of success, you know, or they may just feel like they're not getting the support that they need in one way or another. So that's definitely an energy of conflict, right? Feeling like, oh, I don't feel like this is the right thing. And we have the King of Cups coming in and saying, okay, we have to settle this conflict, right? They have to settle this conflict either within themselves or with you, but whatever it is, some sort of conflict needs to be settled. And they have to negotiate which pentacle they're going to put down, which are they going to do? They're in this space of needing to make a decision. Four of Wands, beautiful. Three of Wands, good. A High Priestess, yeah. Look, I mean, the Four of Wands is a great energy of creativity, success, strong foundation, and that's being clarified by the Three of Wands about doing something unconventional and different and focusing on the future, and that's being clarified by the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is a little more interesting in that when it comes to career or money, this is about being very patient, recognizing that success is coming, but something needs to be grown and matured and nurtured. If this is to do with relationship, this could indicate that you and your partner, if you guys are in relationship, you're keeping part of your life a secret. So maybe you're working on something within the relationship and you just don't want to bother telling anybody. You just want to keep it your stuff, your secret, your business and you don't want to bring in other people. This could also indicate them feeling certain things about your connection and not sharing it with you. This is a month of secrets, which is the season of secrets. Really, October, November are very secretive energies. And you guys are all about the truth. So it doesn't really bode well for you, but that high priestess energy could indicate that there is, the high priestess is an energy of secrets. It's a moon energy. It's maybe them feeling things inside and not really disclosing everything. But that may be more because they haven't really solidified what it is that they're really feeling, really ultimately at the end of the day. There doesn't have to be malice attached to that, you know. Fork in the road. That keeps coming up for people. It's so interesting. I mean, I shuffle the decks and it still comes up. Fork in the road. Actually, let's pull more energy on that. They feel like they're at a fork in the road. What happens at a fork in the road? You have to make a decision, right? I mean, this really speaks to the Two of Pentacles energy too. You have to make a decision. It's like, all right, what are we doing? It's like, yes, no. What's going on here? No place like home. Fourth house energy. Change in the wind. All right. So no place like home is very much about comfort, being around your kind of people, right? Something feeling very familiar, and there being a change in the wind. So I feel like this energy that you're dealing with, they're faced with this situation. It's like, how comfortable am I in this? And, you know, and there being a change in the winds. Let me pull a final energy card, the Fates. Fate is at play. Fate is at play. Breathe, yeah. Why? Right? Why are things going as they are? And then we have enough for you. So depending on what your situation is, it does seem like you're dealing with somebody who is really in this space of vacillation, you know, should I, shouldn't I, with whatever the situation is. Something is very, very fated though. It really is. And they're in this space of trying to sort of like let go and let God kind of thing, to try to figure out why and hope that the answer sort of comes to them. But something is not for them. Like this is like an energy of nope. Now it depends, right? I mean, if they were saying no to something, maybe that's not for them, and it's a better idea for them to be in the relationship with you, the connection, business with you, whatever. Whereas not being in business with you is not the way for them to go. So obviously, it does depend on your situation, particularly with this person. But that is what I have for you guys for this week. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.